Good afternoon. Today is Saturday. We are here to talk about cryptocurrency. Not to say I am an expert of that, but I understand this cryptocurrency from accounting tax standpoint. So for this webinar, I actually did do my study and making sure that I bring the common knowledge over to you. As a small business owners, we're not really a huge player in cryptocurrency world. Elon Musk was, and he bought $1.2 billion cryptocurrency in 2021. And so those are the big players. They know what they're doing. And over the stock market up and down this last 2 weeks, and one of the relatives related to President Trump reported gained $56 million in one trade. So we're talking about people with money, how they do things. Obviously, it's so far away from us and we don't have to care. And we are a small business community. And we work with small dollars. Put in $20 in cryptocurrency. If I can make $40, I'm a hero, right? I'm so happy. But even if for that $20, that's a big dollars for us. So let's talk about cryptocurrency. What I want to do with you today is to let you know how that works in your business life, if you wanted that to become part of your business life. So before we get going, I always want to brag about our firm. Obviously, for us to put in effort and time on YouTube, giving our knowledge free, and we want you to know who we are, and we welcome you to this community CPA big family. In this very volatile time, it is important that we're connected somehow. We're connected by you hear me, and we are connected by you visiting our branches. And in this special time, when you get a group of people sharing the same thought, understanding the same thing, knows how to de-stress ourselves with situations, that is the value. That is the value why you are affiliated with someone. So we want you to be affiliated with Community CPA. Here is our website. You can become our client, go on to onboard with us. Onboard with us is magic. You can do that midnight. You can do that on those nights you cannot sleep and worried about all of these things going on. And you can become our client. Just go to onboard with us, give us a note, and tell us who you are. We call you back. Who knows? Maybe I was also up at the same time, other than, President Trump text at 2 a.m. in the morning. Maybe we text at 2 a.m. in the morning as well, right? Talking about being restless, and we can all be that way. Here is our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is a place where we accumulated our videos, right? Like today. Whatever I talked about today, it will be deposited right here. And you can find the record of my talking points. And I really hope that you get something positive out of what I am teaching here. Our firm, hey, we are a really amazing company. Yes, and we grew. We coming from the bottom line community. We come from the group of people who pays the consequences of the tariff war. Okay? So we're from there. We stay here and we serve people in this area as long as you consider yourself small. By SBA standard, small business definition is any business under $20 million. So absolutely, we serve small businesses in our community. And we have over 12,000 clients. So because of that, I see a little microeconomy, didn't I? Because I have so many clients. So with collective commotions, with what people do, the files that coming through, the questions that flying in online, and we knew this microeconomic how we are doing. So a lot of topics we talk about here is related to you, absolutely related to you. You don't have to listen to CNN to know the big words, what's going on, Fox News, and you can just come over here to sense what's going on with small businesses. I have 2 books online. You can obviously buy online, and these 2 books are actually a understanding from my personal experience plus client experience to teach people how to start a business and how to grow a business here in United States of America. And I have a 2 p.m. book I am writing as of now. I haven't really touched it for at least 5 months since the beginning of the year, just because there's too much to think and not much of a time to put my hands to my thinking, because my thinking, just like President Trump's decision-making process, changing so fast, and one decision today and the next 90 minutes changed. So I do the same. So I change. I couldn't really write. So that's what happened to my 2 p.m. No responsibility disclaimer. Of course, this is my opinion. So, and by the way, on cryptocurrency side, I'm not here to tell you that where to invest, how to invest, because I am not licensed financial planner. I am a licensed CPA. That's it. So, but what I give you is that microeconomy reading that we have in our community and what you need to understand to make your decision soundly. Be clear-eyed with what's going on right now. Cryptocurrency and coins, tokens, all of these are kind of means the same. Cryptocurrency is a type of digital, intangible, like things you can't touch, right? Intangible. It's intangible and virtual currency that use a advanced math. Don't ask me what that is. I don't know. I just know it is this computer mathematic calculation to secure transactions, control certain new coins. It is a closed system where calculate with advanced programming math to calculate transactions and control the issuance of additional coins. It operates that technology. People call that blockchain, right? So you heard of that. Just, unlike traditional money, and it is issued by the government. Before 1971, President Nixon actually cut off the tie between the US dollars and the gold. So US dollar used to be packed with gold. So you have a gold storage, then you issue how many currencies out there. So these are the green currencies we are using, the paper, the coins, right? And there is an English word for those kind of currencies that issued by the government, fiat, F-I-A-T, fiat currency. So cryptocurrency is not the same as these US dollars. And US dollar used to be packed with gold. After 1971, it is packed only with the country's reputation, with the trust of the people to the government itself, which is the United States of America, which is the residents in the White House. So these are the only trust factors to our US dollars. So I'm saying this just to tell you that US dollar is not packed by gold. So a person, a president can have the authority, have the ability to completely destroy US dollar's value. US dollar could go down because of inflation. So that is how secure we are today. And what about cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency is not like, it doesn't pack with anything either. It just has this trust factors for that blockchain system. So now you say, well, how secure is that? At least the president is elected and the CEO of the blockchain is not even elected. You are so correct. You are so right on. This is to say that's why they call that decentralized currency. Decentralized network based on a blockchain technology. It can be, it can be good because it doesn't break the trust and it runs properly, but it can easily go belly up because some not moral characters are in charge of the whole organization or whole company and the blockchain technology for that particular cryptocurrency. Am I right? So then why the world seems to introduce us to cryptocurrencies again and again. So many people are failed, but still there are people wanting to invest. Why and why? Number one, they're decentralized, which means that one blockchain like Bitcoin is not the same, not in the same blockchain with Ethereum. They are different. They're different blockchain. So they're managed separately. So they're decentralized. Not White House residents not going to have much to do with this with this cryptocurrency value, and it also without a need for intermediate to hand out your money. So when we pay things to a vendor, what do? We write a check. That is an intermediate. You write a check. Or you go to the bank, you send out a wire. Or you get on the computer and you start paying out Zelle and paying out with other means. You have an intermediate, right? Or you actually pay from credit card. So these are expensive financial tools because we get charged. Even if you didn't pay, there is a hidden charge for you. You actually paid it. So that is a benefit of cryptocurrencies. It doesn't have that. And it's also a public ledger. So-called public ledger is the blockchain ledger is visible. And you can actually see it. It is not hidden. It is viewed by all the people who are holding those coins. And the identity of the party can be hidden. So when you write a check to pay a vendor, is your identity can be hidden or not? Of course cannot, because you have to identify who you are, where you're paying that check from, right? The check also shows who is paying, who is getting. So the person who gets the money, identity get exposed. You paying the money, identity get exposed. So there's identity exposures on every transaction in the traditional way, but cryptocurrency can hide that identity. So with that, and folks are, understanding, okay, so maybe cryptocurrency, decentralized versus US currency or other Canadian currency, relying on the government, and because they're disconnected with gold, it is very possible in the imaginary world, you got a currency running outside for $1,000, but you got nothing in your gold storage. There's nothing can prove your $1,000 actually worth of anything. So that is really where the US dollar is. So we're going by our power, residual values of the past centuries. And then you have your US dollars today is packed with government reputation. And for our leader on the public platform telling people to kiss my ass and come to negotiate with me, I am not sure that's going to give a lot of trust to the foreign trade partners. So this is really, I'm not a psychologist, but if one of my vendors tell me that kiss my ass, come to negotiate with me, I will give you a discount. You know what? I'd rather pay the full fee not to go to kiss someone's asses. That's so simple. With that, so you have cryptocurrency coins and tokens, folks get that confused all the time, saying that Ying coins is not the same as cryptocurrency. So let me summarize that for you. Coin is a unit for independent blockchains like Bitcoin, right? It's a unit inside of that independent blockchain. So you got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and LITE. I actually don't know how to say that coin. So those are the coins. They are separate blockchains. But tokens do not have its own blockchain. It's actually built on top of the existing blockchain. They are created on top of the existing blockchain to represent a special function. So for example, the function could be that art collection, and the function could be that for foreign currency exchange. So it is the tokens are actually built on top of the existing blockchain. Coins are the unit for the blockchains that you would use. You would have to belong to a certain blockchain when you are in the crypto world. So let's look at how crypto and how that is how it's being backed. So cryptocurrency are not issued, regulated by the government, right? The government don't have a lot to do with that, and in other words, they are not affected by the White House residents. So folks call it decentralized. So the word decentralized is mirror the centralized treasury system we have here in the United States, and how the White House has control over that, but the cryptocurrency is not. And cryptocurrency are affected though, even though not by the government, but they're affected by several things. Blockchain technology is one thing. So the more advanced blockchain technology, the better that cryptocurrency running would be. So later on I will show you about Elon Musk's decision related to cryptocurrency. You will understand that this blockchain technology is taking a lot of energy. It's causing a lot of electricity. So with that said, sometimes if you are doing the coins mining at home, you would end up not even be able to afford your electricity. That is how expensive that is. And of course, mathematical algorithms is also very important. It's part of the brain running. Then the network participations is also important. The more people participate, the more value the blockchain would have. So it is really by the population in that cryptocurrency blockchain. And of course, it's also influenced by the market demand and perception. So if a lot of people using Bitcoins, like in 2021, Tesla was using Bitcoin, if that happens, then the blockchain will prosper, the value will go up. So it's kind of determined by the usage, by the people who use it. Utility and innovation is very important, because if the utility and innovation is not there, there's so much of a cost to run the mathematical algorithm, and it's hard to keep the blockchain, keep the technology going. The cryptocurrency would come to a halt, just like how Elon Musk stopped using Bitcoin for that specific reason. So of course, community ecosystem, the strength of developing the community and the ecosystem surrounding cryptocurrency plays a big role. So more regulation, if there is any, and more transparency would help these type of network to move on, right? But of course, it's not really that. And right now, the Trump administration is reducing regulations on cryptocurrencies. So that may not really help cryptocurrency to grow, just because reducing regulations means that the bad apples can get worse, right? The regulations doesn't really regulate the good ones. The regulation is set to make sure the basic moral standards, basic practice are being safeguarded. I support regulation in every industry. We're not, as a capitalist country, and we are not setting regulations to kill the business. Our regulation is definitely reasonable by large, right? But if you take away all the regulations, then the mob leaders will be your key players in the market. Cryptocurrencies footprint, just quickly, it started in 2009. It's not so far away, right? I'm looking at 2009, the kids who born 2009, and they are still teenagers, so it's really not far away. By 2011, new cryptocurrency already emerged. So other than one blockchain, you got other blockchains come out, and other cryptocurrencies started. And then in 2025, there are over 17,000 cryptocurrencies in existence. That is how much of a growth in this sector, and giving you an impression that whether you like it or not, it's gonna be here, don't you think? From business operation point of view, why would this cryptocurrency even come into play? Why would Ying bring this up for small business owners? So let's look at that why. We kind of mentioned lower transaction fee. There's no transaction fee. You don't have to pay, buying a money order, pay $8.50. And no, you don't have to pay that anymore because it's no conversion rate and there's no intermediate fee. So you directly deal with the transactions, online. Fast transaction, absolutely. Immediate transaction. You don't have to wait for the wire to take place. Oh, make sure you send before 4 p.m. The party will receive it tomorrow before 4 p.m. I mean, between these 24 hours, the Third World War already erupted, so then you don't get your money, right? I'm just kidding. But time is money. Time is critical when you run a critical transaction. Global rate currency exchange. Currency exchange is actually something that hinders the border between border transactions. So even I know in my own practice, I always watch the Canadian and U.S. rate because if the U.S. currency goes higher, then the rate is better than before, then I have the temptation to exchange that into Canadian currency. I lived in Canada, so I'm very comfortable with Canadian currencies and how Canadian-U.S. conversion rate. This is our daily game, and we look at these ones, goes, oh yeah, right now is a good time to convert U.S. dollars to Canadian. So maybe you are coming from other countries and you would have the same feeling like I have to know the exchange difference. But if you have a blockchain, this kind of cryptocurrencies, again, there's no more these kind of currency exchange. And what about enhanced security fraud and the chargebacks? This is regarding to the banking fraud we see. I personally have experienced banking fraud. One of my employee logged into a company account, and the account froze. And she decided it is froze, I cannot work, so she decided to take a lunch break. By the time she come back from the lunch break, our account was negative. There were 3 transactions from a company who first they took $900,000 out of the account. I don't have that money in the account, so that transaction didn't go through. Then it's lowered down to $800,000. It didn't go. Then it lowered down to maybe $500 or $400. It still didn't go to, but the last one they did, it went. So now we lost all that money. By the time we called the bank and figure out where that money went, is already on its way through Canada to England. So it's not in England yet, it's still in Canada and at TD Ameritrade. So we are, trying to stop that transaction. So this is where, you don't have that issue. And if you were, if you have cryptocurrencies, the risk is different. We will talk about that later, but you don't have this wire fraud that I have experienced. I actually got the money back. The total loss I have was about 20,000 between the exchange, because it got exchanged from US to Canadian, Canadian to pounds. So it's like we lose. Then when it's converted back, I lose, a chunk of money. But other than that, at least the majority of it came back. So those are the fraud, and you know what I'm talking about. So it's preventing that for the business. And what about cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency, if you go, okay, Ying, that sounds so good. I want to get involved with cryptocurrency, and I'm on it. Then I want to tell you that what are the issues with cryptocurrency. So first of all, is volatile nature of the value. Cryptocurrency, because it's driven by the demand, is really driven by people who need that. So if it is not needed or not traded and less people using it, the value goes up and down. And in 2021, when Elon Musk was interested in Bitcoin, the value went straight up and then it went down. So all of that, this volatility, price fluctuation is something, a nature of the beast. You can't change it. It's just gonna be that way. And you got to have to develop thick skin and believe that the cryptocurrency gonna exist when you 20 years later, so you know that your investment would be worth. Regulatory uncertainty also is a big deal. And the SEC tried to regulate them. Then here, President Trump come around, goes, no, we don't need regulation. So it's flat again. So, that regulatory change is going to coming, go and back and forth, just depends on the residents of White House. Cybersecurity risk is also very important. While the blockchain technology is secure, right? The platform and the wallet used to store these cryptocurrencies can be very vulnerable. So, I remember one of my clients told me that his wallet key got stolen, so he lost all his coins in the wallet. So, I guess it is very important, but why you lose it, I don't really know. But just say that that's where the window you get into the security risk. Limited acceptance adoptions rate, that is today, right? And people change, technology change, so maybe that would no longer be a problem. So if you offer a BitPay and have your customer pay you Bitcoin and you would transact, maybe that will be a near future transaction, right? People would adopt it and acceptance will be very natural. And the people who absolutely don't want Bitcoin, probably a lot of them are seniors, a lot of them are, not really latched onto the understanding of the future technology, so they would say something different. I don't really know whether I belong to the senior group or I belong to the new group, because even when I'm talking to you right now, I can be wishy-washy on both ways, because I don't really know what would be the right thing to do. That's why I want to talk to you so matter of the fact. I'm not going to push you any direction, but I just want to push you to understand what is this cryptocurrency related to your business. What about Warren Buffett opinions on cryptocurrency? Warren Buffett actually had a speech somewhere. I don't remember the conference name. And he said that if someone give him $25 to buy a piece of land, because it has intrinsic value, he will buy. If someone gave him $25 to buy a building, he'll buy. But if someone gave him $25 to buy cryptocurrency, he said no. So he said, cryptocurrency lack of intrinsic value. Buffett believed cryptocurrency like Bitcoin don't produce anything tangible. or generate earnings, unlike stock and real estate. And Warren Buffett also said that he viewed the crypto as a speculative, relying on hope that someone else will pay more for it. And also, the cryptocurrency extremely swinging in price, very unstable, unpredictable, and risky. He also added regulatory and security concerns to cryptocurrencies and saying that cryptocurrency regulatory environment is just very volatile and it is impossible to nail anything in to feel safe because things can change. Government can shut it down or government can buy in and it's just so unsure with the regulations. This is one of the reasons a couple of years ago, one my client trying to get into cryptocurrency, and I was very certain against that investment opportunities that she has. So one of the reasons I against it is because of regulatory uncertainty. I felt that if it is not regulated, then it would not be something I want to risk my money to. That particular client actually did invest 100,000, nearly lost 70% of it. And so then finally he got it back is 30,000. So he lost $70,000 on that. I knew that because I run the taxes for the client. So with that said, I want to show you what Donald Trump's opinion is for cryptocurrency. Don't you want to know that? All right. So President Trump changes his mind all the time. So his opinion on cryptocurrency was inconsistent. Okay. So what I can tell you is more of today's how his position is. Before he against cryptocurrency. So now he seems to be he changed. Okay. So let me just tell you what that is. Of course, initially he was skeptical. He has recently embraced cryptocurrency as a key part of his agenda. So, you know, his agenda is to put in tariff tax to everybody, including the place that only penguins lives, right? So to everywhere. And his agenda is more clear today. It is not about everyone else, it's just about China. And to raise the trade war with China is not President Trump's idea alone. It is Democrats, Republican, both ideas. And so it is an agenda the U.S. as a whole has. So it is definitely a bipartisan decision the country makes for American. So let's not talk about that war. So that war bound to happen. It happened, okay? President Trump just the one that actually has the guts to do it. So he did it. Right now, he has that trade war as one of his agenda. The other one he had talked about quite frequently is to say that to make America the crypto capital of the world. What does that mean? I think my interpretation would be that the government support cryptocurrency. So you know how we say it's decentralized, the no regulations, the government may shut you down, and all of that talk. And if the government is come around to support you, saying that I want you to become my currency now. So that is a huge backing, right? So to make crypto a capital, to make crypto the capital, to make our country the crypto capital of the world, he actually start to reduce regulations, wanting crypto to go forward. And his administration has proposed, creating what is called strategic Bitcoin reserve. So it's almost like the gold reserve for the treasury. So they are purchasing digital asset they are putting they're putting in US dollars, buy a whole bunch of stockpiles for digital asset as a backing for the blockchain of for the blockchains of there, so crypto world. So his administration is making efforts to integrate cryptocurrency into US financial system while promoting the growth and adoption. So you see, this is the world we are in today. So as an investor, so what would make you think? And that's a good thing, right? If some new currency trend is coming in, the government is piling up the stockpile and making Bitcoin reserve. And I would say that this probably take away a little bit uncertainty. I leave that with you to think about it, all right? So with what's going on with Donald Trump's opinion under the broad daylight, Bitcoin value has risen 40% since Trump took office. And I want to ask why. You already know the answer. So number one, strategic Bitcoin reserve. So US government has started stockpile Bitcoin as part of national cryptocurrency reserve, aiming to position the country as a leader in digital asset space. Regulatory change. So administration quickly move away from strict enforcement actions against crypto companies. For example, the SEC has paused litigation against major players like Binance, okay, and Coinbase. With this, give them the freedom, give them a friendly environment from regulatory standpoint. And disbanding enforcement unit, and this one, the Department of Justice, disbanded its national cryptocurrency enforcement team. You know, this is maybe the Dodge effort, just fire everybody so there's no more enforcement, right? And encouraging innovation, the administration had repealed certain regulations such as IRS rules targeting decentralized finance platform to promote innovation and reduce compliance burdens. So this is another, that DeFi, however you call it, it is almost like a lending platform on digital currency. So it is very innovative. It is feels very effective as well. So there, the government is supporting that. Of course, Donald Trump actively, in person, to promote cryptocurrency, hosting events like Crypto Summit at the White House and appointing pro-crypto people to key positions. So these are all the reasons why Bitcoin is going up. And now I want to talk to you about Elon Musk abandoned Bitcoin. Why? So this is Elon Musk's footprint on Bitcoin. In February 2021, Elon Musk bought $1.5 million Bitcoin. In March 2021, a month later, Elon Musk allowed Tesla customers to use Bitcoin to make payment on Tesla car. In May of 2021, we're talking about 2021. In May 2021, Elon Musk called it out. The reason he called it out because the Bitcoin, the Elon Musk gave a reason why he called it off. And his concerning was environmental related. You probably sit here and go, huh? Bitcoin, environmental, Ying, are you doing your homework? You sure that is how it works? So Bitcoin mining is actually a process that verifying and adding transactions to the blockchain through solving the complex mathematical puzzles, right? And this process is called proof of work, POW. I don't know what that means. It's just English word. It's proof of work. And the proof of work. So this intensive amount of work need intensive amount of energy. So they are saying that to solve a puzzle like this, so 24/7, all the time, the electricity need is more than a whole country, Argentina. That country, Argentina, the whole electricity they need, the Bitcoin would need this for a month. So it's too much of energy, burning too many trees and the coals. So Elon Musk considered there need to be a better solution for this instead of right now adopting it like that and need time to innovate. So the POW, there is another way, they're working on the POW need to be switched to POS. POW, of course, is a proof of work, right? There is also another way of working is, I think it's called a proof of state. So with that, and then the energy saving would be more green. So that's why Elon Musk stopped using it. At the end of 2021, Elon Musk, claimed that impairment loss of $101 million on Tesla's book. What that means is, I want to mention this because this is the tax piece of accounting and the tax piece of Bitcoin. So Elon Musk bought Bitcoin under Tesla, and he bought it, but at the end of 2021, the Bitcoin value lost 101 million. So in this particular accounting, is impairment loss write down. So the asset getting write down from 1.5 billion to 1.2 to 1 point whatever million, with plus this loss goes to income statement, so become expense. So Elon Musk saved $21 million income tax because of this write down. So this is called impairment loss write down in accounting. So that can be directly reducing your income for that year. Now, we just talked about what Warren Buffett is saying about cryptocurrency. We also talked about what Trump is doing on the marketing side of cryptocurrency. Then we also reviewed back in 2021, before Elon Musk became the co-president, and he actually did this, transaction for Bitcoin. And now, let's just say you got that. You know what's going on with the Bitcoin. And maybe you now feel a little more confident, Bitcoin gonna be good, you start to invest, that's your decision. But I want to tell you that how small businesses are using the Bitcoin. I think you want to know how that related to your business, right? It is important because if you're just buying Bitcoin, trade on internet, and you have to qualify to be a day trader, so you can write off your loss if you have losses, and to not be limited to the $3,000 loss, right? So you have to be a day trader, so you don't get limited to the $3,000 write-off, and don't forget to elect mark-to-market accounting method first before and you can do that write-off. But what other ways to use Bitcoin so the whole transaction, everything become part of your business, just like Elon Musk did at Tesla. So a small case study using a cryptocurrency in business, a coffee shop accepting Bitcoin. So a local coffee shop decided to accept Bitcoin as a payment method to attract tech-savvy customers around that area. And what they did is the coffee shop set up a hot wallet for the daily transaction and a cold one for the long-term storage. The hot means that you use it all the time, it's getting hot. The cold means you don't use it all the time, it's getting cold. And the hot ones are the one has more risk, right? Because it's traded daily and you use it all the time, so that security is a concern. But the cold wallet is a long-term storage, basically safer. So that's how business do. If you do digital side of wallet and you want to set up them separately and don't put all your coins in your hot wallet, you should just leaving that there for kind of like your POS system, the cash drawer. Do you put all your savings in the cash drawer? Of course not, right? You only put in changes, $50 in there, so you can, give back to the client when they pay you a little too much. So same thing. So hot wallet is like your little cash drawer. So cold wallet is like your bank saving account that you go get that deposit there. So you want to educate your customer to use you receive cryptocurrency, so you can, set aside to label yourself a little more advanced, especially if you are in a area that young people are around and they're tech savvy. To get Bitcoin be part of the payment method is not a bad idea. Okay, you can attract new customers and you can grow your digital coin, and know that at the end of the year, you can look at your digital coin and making that a market value, right? If it is went down by value, you're going to write it off like Elon Musk did. But if it is growing in value, and you already made the profit. So that is how small business owners use Bitcoin in their business and to receive payment from customer. And they normally also integrate the hot wallet with what they call the BitPay to handle the Bitcoin transaction, just like handle merchant account credit card transaction. And people with wallet, they can even buy Bitcoin, pay you right there, or they can sell the Bitcoin, pay you right there. So it is really seamlessly, everything happen in the handheld phone, and you will finish the transaction. All right. So I am accountant, so everything I do, including what kind of dinner you eat last night, it is a accounting tax topic. Of course it is. Depends on what you eat last night. I could say that, did you eat by yourself? Or you say yes. Then I'll say that's not a business expense. And you may say, no, it is, because I'm out of town and Des Moines is not my home and I actually come from Houston. Then, oh yeah, that's your business expense. Then you can save taxes. You see how everything is related, right? Same thing with cryptocurrency. The accounting for cryptocurrency is this. They are intangible asset. Okay? The rule is when you acquire cryptocurrency, should be accounted at cost, subject to subsequent impairment testing and write down as appropriate. That's what Elon Musk did. However, if the value goes up and you don't state gains right away, you previously write down, that's fine. You're just gonna stay there, cannot be written up when the price go up. Okay, but yes, it can do impairment testing and write down as the result. So accounting is like on the balance sheet. It's supposed to be on the balance sheet until you suffer some loss. Tax for cryptocurrency. There's different path for cryptocurrency taxation. So one path is you buy and sell, and you are passive investor. So you claim cryptocurrency gain and loss as capital gain and loss, right? And if you lose, you can only deduct $3,000 a year. So that's it's just like other stocks, and you trade them. You're crying over wash sales because you're not day trader. But if you're a day trader, you would elect a mark to market, so you can account your losses and write off your losses immediately. And for short-term trading, you don't get capital gain rate anyway, so there's no difference. The big difference is on the loss. So the other way account for cryptocurrency is when you receive cryptocurrency as a form of payment for your service, for your goods, for your rewards, and things like that. So this value of the cryptocurrency at the time of receipt is taxed at your receipt as your income tax. So you prepared a tax return for $100, you got crypto payment, and then that payment value that day is your income. So that is how you how you account them. So you see there is one is on the personal side. You are either day trader or not. You are on one way to do the taxes. Then the other one is completely embedded in your business, as part of your business, right? So the investors who buy and sell cryptocurrency, like I mentioned earlier, you got two pathways, right? One is you just invest that passively. The other one is you invest that as a day trader. If you are a day trader, just make sure you need to elect that. You need to elect yourself to be mark to market, to enjoy writing off the loss 100% in the year that your cryptocurrency lost value. All right. And the ways to invest in cryptocurrency, there's so many ways. This part, I would say that there's so many ways, and there's no way I know everything about how to invest. But there is a three popular ways people are doing, which I see. So I want to show you that. So the first two in here, the direct purchase and also crypto fund, these are the ones I see a lot. And we also know that clearly how that is different. But the other ones, which is not here, it is the third one right here, is participate in initial coin offering. It's called ICO, okay? And find legitimate initial offering on trusted platform. Then you can invest. So this is definitely higher risk. But the other two, like buy specific cryptos, purchase directly from bitcoin.com. You can do that. If you go to bitcoin.com and the first thing you see is them asking you buy Bitcoin. So you follow the prompt, you will get through if you want to buy. Invest in crypto funds. Those you have to go through intermediate companies like Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and Grayscale, and those are the ones that you can go buy. If you go to Fidelity and you do fidelity.com/crypto, and they lead you right there. So they are doing this crypto funds more like a mutual funds, right? So it's diversify the risk. If one blockchain die and the other one is still work, so it's not impact you that much. So those are ways to invest. So if you have a thought of, oh, now I know what I want to do with cryptocurrency, and from what I am talking about, then it is time to take an action, right? So the whole purpose of this talk is to make you understand the backdrop of this cryptocurrency creature, this beast, what it does and how it is being promoted. So right now, the current administration is promoting it. And that doesn't mean it's good or bad. It just says that the cryptocurrency right now is gaining government support. And when it's gaining government support, and the government has right to do certain things to make the business grow, to make the business prosper, that's powerful, right? So that is how far we really can go, because I don't have the crystal ball. I don't really know what the President Trump will do, because he does things that not what economists were saying. So the economist saying something else and he does something different. So I don't think the economists in today's world really understand what President Trump is thinking. Or maybe President Trump don't think. He just do what he wants to do the moment he thought about it. And this, knee-jerking kind of reactions to everything going on in the world, then of course there's no prediction. So in any case, whatever happens, and there is a way for you to deal with it. So to have the knowledge will be the first step to know how to mitigate your own risk, you have a little microeconomy. You don't need to worry about macro. You don't worry about the Third World War between China and the US. You only need to worry about what is your decision today for that $50 you have in your wallet, in your bank account, and you want to invest because you don't need it for right now. And then what do you want to do? So you only want to worry about that. All right. With that said, I want to brag about our partners in our firm. You see our faces here. If you have any questions, ask. And I am here, and our team is here to help small businesses. And we are not saying it as a slogan, no. And we are saying it because that's in our DNA. And we can't even escape that. Even if we want to do something else, but that's still going to fall back on us as our DNA, as our nature of living, as our default. So helping small business is absolutely our job and the lifestyle. And this is our YouTube channel again, and you can give us your topic at Catherine@communitycpa.com. This is how you can get your voice heard. If you have anything you want to talk to us, please email us. And we also are working on weekly in-person community event around our branches to make sure that we hear you, we help you, and we provide you the knowledge so you can make the right decision. Here we go, making the right decision. All right, see you